Alright. What's really going on? Bitcoin, crypto, and currency. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Cardano, ADA against USDT. We're going to be assessing some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. We're going to be looking for the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag? If you have one, are you bullish on Cardano? Have you been buying these dips, accumulating through this sideways? Do you think we're going to plow through all this resistance, get back to that, multi-dollar plus range that we came from in the not so distant past? Or are you bearish on Cardano? Do you think this is just a bull trap, a fake out upward? There's more downside. We're going to plow through all this potential support, head straight to zero. Let me know your thoughts on the direction of Cardano down in the comment section below. Now, jumping right into it, to kind of recap this very volatile and very bullish price action, in my opinion, that appears to be breaking upward and out of this very aggressive phase of accumulation and sideways, multiple months of sideways since I do believe the kind of 10th of February of 2021. We have this candle interacting with resistance found at 94 cents, solidifying that as a kind of key level to consider. We have some rejections off of it, sending price action, plummeting toward 60 cents, under 70 cents, that kind of thing, but ultimately bullish enough to find its way above this resistance and then confirm it as potential support after interacting with overhead resistance at $1.47. So price action has been bouncing off of this $1.47 toward 94 cents for a since the kind of 22nd of February all the way until the 4th of May of this year. We have price action finally getting bullish enough to get up to that, almost $2.50 up there per Cardano, attempting to find support above $1.47 from that dreaded abrupt change in momentum on the 19th of May there. Price action attempting to be bullish, but ultimately failing to and falling back into this range of sideways for us to, consolidate through there for a few more weeks, ultimately re-entering this zone on the 18th of June of 2021, reaching toward 94 cents, but ultimately getting bought off of $1, which is a psychological round level that we seem to have found very bullish support off of, and we have very much solidified that as support, in my opinion. We have a few more weeks below $1.47 to bounce off of that $1 support level again, until the kind of last few days here where we have this very bullish breakout upward and interaction with these highs around the $1.85 level. So there is very minimal resistance in our pathway here. And in my opinion, Cardano is looking to make some continued explosive moves. We've already made some pretty decent vertical kind of headway here. I suspect this will likely continue to this current kind of local high at $2.43 and then some. Ultimately, Cardano is looking very bullish in my opinion. And this has been some very, very, bullish, aggressive, phase of accumulation and sideways during some very volatile price action against Bitcoin that I do believe was very healthy and necessary for the uptrend to continue. And coming out of this consolidation, I suspect perhaps several months of upside for Cardano kind of moving forward, unless another abrupt change of momentum were to occur. But I do believe a new perspective comes into play now when we consider EngineeringRobo. Along with the fettuccine lines of zucchinis, bikinis, martinis, and Lamborghinis, we can see price action coming out of this very key range here. As we can see, the 0.382 correlating with my 94 cent line, 95 cents suggests further buy pressure down at that level, further confirming significant support at that range. We have the 0.5 fettuccine line at $1.24, giving us a hard time throughout all this kind of sideways. We have my resistance at $1.47, which is just below $1.53, which is the 0.618 Fibonacci level. Significant resistance that we have just plowed through as well. The next kind of point of potential sell pressure is going to be this 0.786 Fibonacci line. $1.95 is going to be a key level to consider. I guess as we approach that round psychological $2 level, you can suspect some perhaps short-term sell pressure and maybe some very brief pullbacks or downsides to reconfirm some support here. Cardano is looking very, very bullish. We've been well above this 200 daily moving average for quite some time. We consolidated towards it. We have this buy 4 supporting the bounce off of the 200 daily moving average, suggesting some very continued and long-term upside once this support has been found. And in my opinion, we are seeing the beginning of this some explosive kind of uptrend here that is likely to continue for several months, in my opinion. Ultimately, in the short term, say we experience some resistance along the 0.786. Say we give Cardano some more breathing room, some more time to more healthily get into this kind of uptrend. A nice pullback and interaction with $1.53, the 0.618 line, as support would be very bullish in my opinion, and would further confirm the breakout of this range that we've been trapped in, and would very much solidify this level as support, and we can very much expect some upside moving forward. Ultimately, lots going on for Cardano against USDT, looking very bullish at the moment. We have EngineeringRobo supporting the upside since the 27th of July of this year. Price action hurtling very quickly toward this resistance. So over the next kind of coming days, we'll have to see how these daily candles close. We will have to see just how significant the sell pressure is around $1.95, or that $2 kind of round level, psychological level that I do believe many traders will be taking profit. But with the bullishness of Cardano, I very much suspect the multi-dollar plus range, $2, $3, $4 very soon, in my opinion. Now, lots going on for Cardano against USDT, but if we were to switch over to Cardano against Bitcoin on the Binance chart, we have a bit of a new perspective come into play here. We have price action interacting with some very key and critical support levels. We have this range between my support at 3,100 Satoshi, just under the 0.618 Fibonacci level at 3279 Satoshi, suggesting some very significant support down in this little range here that we have very bullishly bounced off of twice. This bullish double bottom, in my opinion, is supported by this buy 4 on the ADABTC chart, giving us some very bullish upside, and we can very much suspect that Cardano can gain against Bitcoin or hold against Bitcoin's volatility or downside. We've been well above this 200 daily moving average for this whole time, for many months, all throughout Bitcoin's downside. We've held above this 200 daily moving average, interacting with the 0.786 line as resistance between kind of like the 13th of June and the 12th of July of this year. So ultimately, this is kind of the next kind of key level that we have to kind of conquer and solidify as support, in my opinion, to get kind of more bullish on Cardano. Ultimately, Cardano has been looking one of the most bullish coins, in my opinion, throughout all of this volatility with Bitcoin, especially in the months between like May and July. During all that downside, Cardano has been very bullish, holding sideways, bouncing off of support, maintaining its buy pressure, and the uptrend definitely wants to continue. We have that buy 4 key bounce off of support. Price action above the 200 daily moving average against Bitcoin. We're looking very bullish. Cardano is looking like it wants to experience some upside very quickly. At this exact moment, we are currently interacting with resistance on the BTC chart. In addition to, we are approaching resistance on the USDT chart. So over the next couple of days, there could be some sideways, some reattempts at support, and some exhaustion if we don't plow through it kind of immediately. So I mean, realistically, we're looking very bullish. I do suspect some very volatile upward momentum and upward price action to continue, but from a technical perspective, we are at resistance, so some pullbacks, some attempts at support could be pending if the FOMO doesn't take us through all these key levels. But anything that goes up this vertically must kind of come down just the same or similar. I suspect if price action becomes too vertical, we will very much likely have a very aggressive pullback and reattempts at support. Ultimately, Cardano is looking like a great long-term hold. In the short term, we'll have to see how this volatility plays out. But a new perspective comes now into play, I believe, when we can consider Bitcoin against USDT. We can see what the crypto sphere is doing here. We have price action above the 200 daily moving average, attempting to find support. We have multiple daily candles now above the 200 daily. The more daily candles we have opening and closing above that moving average, the far more bullish we can get on Bitcoin in the sort of like short term here. In my opinion, this would very much further solidify the bottom of this potential kind of pullback for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been in a very bullish and vertical and volatile uptrend for the year and a bit leading up to where we currently are now. We're coming from some very euphoric, brand new all-time highs, and this 50%-esque retracement down to these kind of key levels of accumulation was very healthy for Bitcoin, and it was very bullish in the long run. This is a very needed technical phase of downside that was, like I said, very healthy for the uptrend. So this was a great time to be buying Bitcoin, a great time to be accumulating. my targets here in these key levels that we are currently interacting with, I do suspect overhead resistance present at $48,000 per Bitcoin. That is going to be a significant level that we will have to consider to see if we can plow through it, confirm it as support, or see just how significant the resistance is. Based on this current momentum building above this 200 daily moving average, if we can confirm that 200 daily as support, we will very much likely plow through a lot of this resistance. At the moment, price action is potentially exhausting at this exact kind of moment, and we could see some short-term downside, some reattempts at support here. I'm always looking for support. Anything that goes up this vertical is usually met with some pretty hefty retracements. We had a minor retracement from between the 30th of July to the kind of 4th of August from that 0.618 line all the way down to 37K, reaching toward the 0.5 line at 34K. Ultimately, 34K is looking less and less likely, but not impossible in my opinion. I can be certain that we have bottomed once we have solidified support along this very key 0.618 Fibonacci line, $41,500 per Bitcoin, I believe, is going to be. If we can see some downside interaction toward it and confirm that as support, we can get very, very bullish on Bitcoin, and we can very much expect the uptrend to continue, and I could be more certain on this being a bottom for Bitcoin. Currently still in the middle of the breakout from this trapped phase of consolidation. We are looking very, very bullish. The overall buy pressure for Bitcoin has not really gone anywhere all through this technical downside. Smart money's been accumulating, buying the dips. There's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin, only better times. So at this kind of point in time, we are still in a very fearful, uncertain, and doubt-filled state of the market, and we'll have to see just how we interact with this very tight range that we are kind of trapped in. Overhead resistance at 48K, potential support at 45K currently, the 200 daily moving average, or my $41,500 0.618 Fibonacci level kind of down below there. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try Engineering Robo free with the link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below. Let me know in the comment section. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What are you doing with your bag? If you have one, have you been buying Bitcoin? Have you been accumulating during these lows, buying the dips? Or are you bearish still? This is just a fake out, a bull trap. We're headed to zero. We're in a bear market. Let me know your thoughts on the direction of Bitcoin down in the comment section below. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.